Yo, what's going on, guys? Coming at you with round 7. We skipped round 5 and 6 because they were like two lock / mill decks matching up against each other, where one set up and kind of just beat the other, and then one was just a game 1 tie. So we skipped round 5, round 6. We're here in round 7. Blaine Hill playing DrampaGarb versus John Ang playing ZoroGarb. Matchup is super favored for DrampaGarb, in my opinion, anyways. Yeah, favorite for DrampaGarb. Basically, you sit there, control them with the ability lock garb, you righteous edge them. ZoroGarb tries to get off the one-shots on the Drampas when they can, but they have to invest a ton to do that. And then you constantly parallel sitting them as DrampaGarb. Basically run them out of Pokemon. You either run them out of DCs or you run them out of Pokemon, one of the two. Yeah, favorite for DrampaGarb for sure. You do that, or eventually enough items gets in the discard pile where Trash Lunch kind of just takes over the game. So let's go ahead and get into it. We got John going first, has the Raw Bridget, doesn't have to Lele for it. I'd expect to see Zorua Ditto here, as long as the Ditto isn't prized. Definitely want to get that out before Ability Lock Garb gets online. Even if he doesn't know for sure what, even if before the matchup, if he didn't know what Blaine was playing, seeing the Drampa, you should assume it's DrampaGarb. So he's gonna go Trubbish Ditto Zorua. I definitely want to see him go Zorua Ditto. Give himself the option to just not set up Garb, or if he wants to go with the Garb. Definitely want to get Ditto out right now before he gets Ability Lock. I definitely don't like him not getting Ditto here, because who knows how long it's going to be until he would be able to find it again, and then have to get it into play and then evolve it on the following turn. So if Blaine just gets like a turn 2 Ability Lock Garb, you might just never be able to utilize the Ditto, whereas you could utilize a Trubbish or a Zorua later on. So I definitely want to see, I definitely would have liked to have seen him grab the Ditto here turn 1, but he goes for the Zorua Trubbish. Definitely not optimal. See what he's got in the rest of the hand. I see a red card. Definitely want to play that down turn 1. Try and disrupt Blaine right off the bat. I mean, if you slow him down enough and you're fast enough, then you'll kind of just take over the game as potentially take over the game as John. I think I saw Skyfield and Lele in hand, so he's all ready to go with a follow-up turn. And I think we're just gonna see him pass here. Looking at his pass over to Blaine. I see a Psychic Energy, I see a Sigilyph and an N. Gonna go with the N. I'm sure John's fine with that. His hand didn't look that spectacular. Definitely happy with the N. I'm sure Blaine is also happy to see a draw supporter himself, not having to just immediately go with the big wheel off the start. You definitely don't want to do that. So we see the N come down. Both players are going to shuffle up, draw 6. John's going to be looking for a draw supporter and some Zoroarks. Ideally wants to one-shot this Drampa, but that's kind of a lot to ask for on the second turn. It is possible for him to get it, but yeah, kind of a lot to ask for. Looking at his hand, I see an Ultra Ball, I see an N, and I think I see a DCE. So nothing spectacular in John's hand. But it's not dead drawn, so better than nothing. Yeah, it would be kind of a tall order for him to be able to get the knockout here on the Drampa. Blaine's checking his prizes here. So this is DrampaGarb with 2 Sigilyph GX. The Sigilyph GX don't really do anything in this matchup, I don't think. I've never really played around with the Sigilyph GX and DrampaGarb before, so they might have a better use than I think. He's gonna go with the Parallel City and then GX. I don't actually like the Parallel City placement here. I think Parallel City is one of like the most important resources to try and utilize in this matchup. I'm sure his thought process here is that he wants to be able to stop, well, he wants to stop John from putting down like a Shaman or a Lele to potentially get out of this, to get out of whatever, if he has a dead hand or not, if Shaman or Lele is his only out. I guess I'm okay with the Parallel City. Initially I'm like, well, I don't really want to see it, but I guess it does lock his bench to 3. He's already got 3 in play. It feels like it doesn't do a whole ton though. Like John can draw Zoroarks. It's very unlikely John will even attack the Drampa this turn, so that means John has like 2 turns to find something. Yeah, I think overall I would have liked to have seen him hold the Parallel City. I feel like you're not getting a whole ton of value. The only value you're potentially getting here is you're hoping John's only out of his current hand is to go a Lele or Shaman to either get a support off the Lele or draw cards off the Shaman, but that's kind of unlikely that would be his only out after you end him to 6. So I think I would have preferred to have seen Blaine hold this Parallel City here. In my opinion, it is the most important resource in this matchup. You just want to keep Parallel City, and that forces, that's what ends up forcing items out of your opponent, or making so that they actually just run out of Pokemon and they can no longer actually like one-shot Drampas anymore. There's a Zoroark, there's a DC to the Zoroark. Yeah, no reason not to put the Garb down. I think on John's side here, I would like to have seen him trade first to potentially find Guzma. Because like Guzma KO the Trubbish is pretty good here for John. It means you're completely eliminating the chance of your opponent being able to set up an Ability Lock Garb, giving yourself the only control over the Ability Lock Garb for at least the next turn. Blaine will have to get Trubbishes, and will probably get Trubbishes in play on the next turn. So I definitely think I would like to have seen John go for a trade, but I guess he lets Blaine keep his big wheel then. But I don't know if that's that important if he doesn't have anything to build on. He has 10 cards, but I don't know. He can't do a whole ton with them. The chance of him actually knocking out the Drampa is super low. And then retreating and hitting it isn't. I mean, even if he gets like Floatstone and then hit the Drampa, that's not even that good either. I would have liked to have seen John trade and try and get a Guzma there and take out the Trubbish. Delay the ability lock Garb by 1 turn, and there's the Ditto coming back into John's hand once again. Really think he should have played down that Ditto last on the beginning turn. Trades a Choice Band. I don't like this. I definitely want to see him keep this Choice Band. So a full bench Zoroark with a full bench in Skyfield knocks out Drampa, but Pokemon is actually one of the biggest, can be potentially one of the biggest resources in this matchup. He should still. I think John runs like double Super Rod actually. He's got a Lele in hand. I actually would like to see him trade the Lele here, I think, and keep the Choice Band. He can always like stretch or Super Rod the Lele back in, but the Choice Bands, you don't want a dowsing machine for your Choice Band. I don't think John plays a Rangaroo. Yeah. So now we're gonna probably see Zoroark trade Lele. So I guess it would have been trade Lele and then trade Choice Band anyways, but I would have definitely liked to have seen him trade the Lele first. Oh no, maybe he'll trade the Ditto here now actually. Once again, the Ditto should have already been in play, I think, for sure. The Garb should have been on the Ditto at this point, I think. Not the biggest deal, but still. So he's got Skyfield, he's got Lele. I think he's gonna go Skyfield, put down Zorua, and then he'd probably Lele for a Colress here. I like this. You know, you don't want to just sit on if Blaine, you're not killing with the Trubbish, so if Blaine just gets a ability lock Garb, kind of stuck with a dead hand. So yeah, just be aggressive about it. It sucks to it's kind of like a waste of a Skyfield here on John's side, because you want to ideally put them in play when you are knocking out the Drampa. I believe Blaine does play 4 Parallel City, so the Skyfields are going to get bumped constantly out of play. Looking at Blaine's hand, it doesn't look great. He has a treasure, so he can get Layla. Oh, he actually top decked Bridget, I think. So that's actually great. So we should see a Bridget here from Blaine, a couple Trubs probably, and maybe some other stuff. Well, looks, I don't know what that card is. Oh, it's the Bridget. Okay, he switched it around his hand. Probably Drampa, Trubbish, or oh no, he's got Sudowoodo. Gotta get the Sudowoodo in play. Drampa, Trubbish, Sudowoodo for sure. Yeah, gotta get the Sudowoodo in play. Looks like they're about to come out. Yep, Drampa, Sudowoodo, Trubbish. Gets rid of Lele on John's side. Thinking about using Treasure. Yeah, you got a Treasure for Lele here. Gets rid of the Sigilyph GX. Yeah, not very good in this matchup. Yeah, just not great in this matchup. Yeah, looks like he's going to go Lele for N here. Not the Lele for N. Yep, there's Lele for N. Grabs the N. And probably attached to the Drampa here. Just put down the Wob. Yeah, I like that. Yep, attach the other Drampa. And Righteous Edge for 20 on the Klefki over to John. John got a Zoroark. I'm not actually sure how much I like the bench of the Wob. Because if John knocks out your active Drampa, you're definitely pushing up the other Drampa and then playing N and looking for a Parallel City. But you know John has a Chorus in hand, so I don't really understand the point of benching the Wob to give John +1 card on his turn. So I actually don't like benching Wob. That doesn't really make sense to me. I'm trying to think of what it could potentially do for him. The only thing potentially that I can think of is that you'd want to push it up once your Drampa gets knocked out by the Zoroark potentially on this turn coming up on John's current turn. But if you do that, you'd almost for sure want to push up Drampa and Righteous Edge and look for a Parallel City. So yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the Wobbuffet bench there by Blaine. It also means that stand-in Zoroark is going to do that much more damage now. I think stand-in Zoroark just knocks him out now. Yeah, stand-in Zoroark will actually just knock him out. Yeah, so the Wobbuffet bench there was actually really bad from Blaine. Trade 1. Yeah, he's definitely going to get it here. Trade 2. Whoa, I don't like getting rid of the other Garb there, I don't think. Oh, no, that's fine. You're not going to use Garb that much. I was like, well, you might want to make another Garb later, but I definitely don't like the Wobbuffet discard there. Well, like I said, Pokemon are like a big resource in this matchup for John because there's so many Parallel Cities in Blaine's deck. He's just going to keep limiting your bench to 3, which means if you do something like a one-shot at Drampa and then Blaine goes Parallel City, you lose 5 Pokemon. Ideally, some eggs are involved in that, but involved in the Pokemon you're losing. But yeah, so definitely a big mistake there from Blaine by benching the Wobbuffet. Definitely don't like that. don't like that play there. There's the stand-in, and that will be the knockout. So this is like a great start here from John, getting the knockout with the stand-in. That's ideally one of where you want to draw 2 of your prizes, is utilizing your stand-in Zoroark on John's side to to knock out a Drampa or like a Lele or something, to get yourself ahead in the prize trade. There's the knockout from John. So yeah, I definitely don't like Ultra Blind Wobbuffet, but I can't really tell what's fully in his hand, so Wobbuffet is still maybe the best thing to go. Like I said, I don't like losing Pokemon in this matchup, but it's definitely possible Wobbuffet was just the worst thing in his hand. It's really hard to tell what's in John's hand. He's got such a big hand. Yeah. So don't... So he attaches DCE active and then plays N. I'm sure he wants to try and actually KO this Zoroark, because if he actually doesn't knock it out, John could just go DCE Choice Band and then actually knock out the Drampa, because he is at 5 bench here. So yeah, the Wobbuffet was like a big mistake there from Blaine. So he's looking for Muscle Band. I believe he plays Muscle Band. Ideally, he wants to see Muscle Band, Garbodor, and a Tool. See Choice Band, Tool, Parallel City. Ooh. Yeah, he's definitely thinking about limiting himself to 3 here. Yeah, definitely get rid of your Wob and your Lele. There we go. However, the rest of Blaine's hand kind of sucks. Should definitely see a Psychic Energy come down on one of the Trubbishes, I think. Nah, it's not necessary. Yeah, just going to be Righteous Edge for 20 here. Back over to John. So now John's not in as good of a spot before. That Blaine did hit the Barrel City, but it's still fine. He immediately went with the Prop Trade. Yeah, I'm fine with that. And I would actually like to see him Guzma KO the Sudowoodo here on Blaine's side of the field. Go down to 3 prizes. Just get rid of that. Use the Zoroark. Right, it's beating. You're fine. It's okay if he Righteous Edge and you lose another DC. You still have your Dowsing Machine and your Special Charge for John. So it won't be that big of a... Actually, John might not play Special Charge. I know he plays Psychic and Trash Lynch, and I believe he plays the double Super Rod. So he actually might not play the Special Charge. He's going for the Guzma. Definitely take out Sudowoodo here. Sudowoodo is like super annoying. He's just super annoying card. Definitely want to see him take out the Sudowoodo. Guzma, yep, Sudowoodo makes his way active. And then Riot is beating for the knockout. Down to 3 prizes here for John. Blaine's still at 6, but DrampaGarb usually doesn't draw prizes for a while. Another dead top deck here from Blaine. Should just be another Righteous Edge. He should Righteous Edge for 50 here because he does have the potential to use what's it called on the following turn for a knockout. Oh no, he could do 180, 20. No. So he needs to attach a Choice Band this turn. Oh, he's gonna Float Stone. Oh, he's gonna go with the Garbage Collection and put a N on top. All right. So desperation mode here from Blaine. Throws the Float Stone on top, or throws the N on top. His hand is dead. I actually think this is probably the best way to go with. John needs a lot to actually still get the knockout here on the Drampa, which is ideally what John would knock out. But even if he just KOs the what's it called, it's actually not that bad. Even if he just KOs the Trubbish here, it's not that bad. He'll go down to 2 prizes and then just needs to KO that Drampa to win the game here. Yeah, Guzma KO the Drampa would pretty much lock up the game for John, and that's definitely what he should be looking for here. Prop trade 1. There's Super Rod number 1 in the hand. Prop trade 2. There's Choice Band. I don't know if Guzma should be in the discard pile. And I think he has Skyfield. So yeah, he has knockout here on the Drampa. I definitely think John is going to end up taking this game. Trade 2 gets a Trubbish. Definitely should see a Psychic Energy come down on this Trubbish, so he can go stand in with his stand-in Zoroark, bring that to the active, fill up his bench, and then Guzma knock out the Drampa. That's definitely what I want to see him do here. Go down to 1 prize. All you need is a DCE. I don't even think there's enough items in the discard pile for Trash Lynch on Blaine's side to knock out the Zoroark, so he doesn't have to worry about that getting knocked out. There's the stand-in. And basically Guzma. And I would definitely like to see Blaine scoop here. Guzma up the Drampa, because I don't think there's really any way for him to come back in this one. Psychic to the Trubbish as well. John thinned out his hand really well there. Goes down to 1 prize here with that Riot Speed. And like I said, I don't think there's enough items in John's discard pile for Trashalanche to take the knockout. He could still hit Parallel City and Trashalanche. And then John actually can't KO the Trashalanche while the Parallel City's in play. So he doesn't exactly lose for sure. But yeah, I don't think there's enough items for there to be a knockout with the Trashalanche. 6. There's the Trashalanche. No Parallel City. No Ability Lock Garb. A ton of tools. Yeah, there's the scoop from Blaine. Good to see it. There's like 4. I think I saw 4 supporters prize there for Blaine. Yeah, I think it was like triple Juniper N in Blaine's prize cards. All right, so that's definitely one of the reasons it was a little slow there for Blaine. But I expect him to recover here in game 2. Like I said, the matchup is definitely favored for DrampaGarb. And you just need a setup. But that is, the Zorak deck is definitely more consistent. So that's it's no surprise to see Zorak take a game or a series now and then. Great start here, opening here from Blaine. He's got the unfortunate Lele start, but John opened Lele as well. So Lele for Lele here. Second Lele coming down from Blaine for the Bridget. Usually not going to open raw Bridget with this deck or await, like you don't have Battle Compressor and Devia Seeker. You only play one Bridget, so it's, if you're using Bridget on turn 1 with the DrampaGarb deck, it's usually coming through the Lele. We do see it here, a DCE to the Drampa on Blaine's side as well, and then a pass over to John. So he gets the Pseudo Widow, the Trubbish, the Drampa, full squad out here. Another raw Bridget here from John. Definitely want to see him. Oh no, this time I don't want to see him take the Ditto. Him going first last game, I definitely want to see the Ditto. Not anymore though. Zero Trubbish. Maybe triple Zorua to start off actually with, and then draw into the Trubbish later on. I wouldn't hate to see, depending on what the rest of his hand is. Yeah, I think I would like to see triple Zorua here actually from John. If he has a draw supporter in hand. If he has to like commit, yeah, if he has to commit another Lele down, then I think Trubbish is correct, and he does. So I like the Trubbish. Gets a Chorus, all set up, ready to go for next turn. I think he has a Zorak in hand as well. So yeah, it's looking good here for John. See an Egg and some Ultra Balls. Yeah, nothing too important there. All right, turn 2 ability lock here from Blaine is great. Another DCE to Drampa. Not as great, but it's okay. Parallel City, gonna lose 1 Pokemon here from John. Once again, I'm not a huge fan of that Parallel City, because you know if John had something in hand to play down, he would have played it. I'm like a bigger fan of holding the Parallel Cities to counter the Skyfields. I guess I don't hate it here though. You do play 4 as Blaine, so kind of like weighing it out in my head. I don't hate it. I'm not sure if it's correct though. I'm actually a little bit in between on this. I've never really played DrampaGarb against the new build of ZoroGarb. I only ever played DrampaGarb back when they had puzzles. So they had access to a lot of Skyfields through puzzles. So I always liked to hold Parallel Cities for a while. I always liked to hold Parallel Cities to counter Skyfields. Now that they don't have puzzle, they don't have as many Skyfields, so I can actually see where you don't need to counter it constantly or be prepared to counter it constantly. But I do like the idea of holding the Parallel. I think he drew the Parallel City off the Juniper. If he drew it before the Juniper, he should 100% have played it down. I'm pretty sure he drew it off the Juniper though. Anyways, you see the chorus here from John. He counters the Parallel City. Okay, so I'm actually not a fan of this Skyfield here from John because it doesn't really do anything besides allow him to bench as a rule when you're under ability lock. So yeah, not a fan of this Skyfield. I would like to see John hold the Skyfield until he can utilize it to actually take a one-shot, because he only has usually access to like 3 Skyfields. The Dowsing Machine, yeah, sometimes it's used for Skyfield. I mean, it can be used for Skyfield, but I think John definitely should have held the Skyfield. And then calls for 1 less. The 1 less Zorua in play. Yeah. But he maybe doesn't know the count of Parallel Cities that Blaine plays. Gets a 4th Zorua down. And then just Energy Drive into the active Drampa for 120. I guess I didn't really talk about Blaine retreating to the Drampa here to hit for 80. I don't know if I'm a big fan of that. I almost think I would have liked to see him just keep the Drampa on the bench or attach DCE to Lele and just hit his Lele for 40. And then plan to Righteous Edge it if it hits back. I think that's what I would have liked to have seen out of Blaine actually. Float Stone, go to Pseudo Wudo, DCE to active Lele, hit John's Lele for 40, and just put some kind of pressure in play on John's side. And then if John goes DCE, hit your Lele, you go retreat Lele to Drampa Righteous Edge. And then you actually have also, that means you also activate Berserk, which is really nice. Because then you can actually, or you could even just one-shot the Lele at that point with Berserk. So I definitely think I would have liked to have seen Blaine attach DC to the active Lele, just smack for 40, leave Drampa on the bench with the DC, leave him where he's protected and safe on the bench. Don't bring him in the active. Let him chill on the bench and just hit John's Lele with your Lele as Blaine for 40. And then if he commits to DC on John's side like he did, he maybe wouldn't have committed if it was hitting a Lele. Who knows? Then that's where you commit, bringing up the Drampa and just Righteous Edge it, or even Berserk and knock it out. Second Drampa coming down here for Blaine. Probably will see the other DCE come down onto it. I don't see a reason for it not to. Yep, there it is. And I think he has an N in hand. So finally seeing some supporters coming out in this game for Blaine. But that Drampa's in not such a great spot here. It has 120 damage on it. Should be pretty easy to clean up for John. Once again, one of the big things that I don't know if John plays. One of the big things is I don't know if John plays Special Charge, which is like a huge card in this matchup. We'll find out soon, I think. Yeah, see, now he has to like retreat. He's like debating retreating the other Drampa. Skyfield here. See, I like this, or this parallel city here. I like this parallel city here. Either 2 Zoruas are going down or Zorua Trubbish. Either way, it's nice for you. Because now Blaine can like deactivate ability lock Garb, and then his Sudowoodo is online. And if John doesn't have access to ability lock Garb, he can never really one-shot anything. He has to like either deal with the Sudowoodo or get his own Trubbish back into play. So it becomes pretty awkward here for John. I think you get rid of Trubbish Zorua though as John, and then you'll rebuild into the ability lock Arbiter eventually. See, now this Drampa just like took a big hit for no reason. You have to retreat to the other Drampa. So once again, going back, I think I would have liked to have seen Blaine just energy drive for 40 on the active Lele. Don't retreat into the Drampa. Don't let it take a hit. You gotta protect the Drampas. They're your main early game attack, main early game, mid game, even late game. Like as long as your DC in play, Drampa's good to attack with. So would have liked to have seen Blaine chill with that Drampa for sure. Over to John. I think he top decked the Via Seeker. I don't think his hand was looking too good before that Via Seeker. He has a DCE in hand. Playing under the, assuming John plays what's it called, special charge, I'd like to see him just commit this DC to the active Lele and just smack into this Drampa. Yeah, both Drampas pressured. You really no way to get out of the active for sure. He's got an Ultra Ball here. Definitely probably want to see, I do not want to see him play the Skyfield if he's not going to utilize his full bench on the turn. So I really do not want to see him play the Skyfield here. Via Seeker is going to be for Chorus. Oh, look at, he's eyeing up the Guzma actually. I'm not sure what he would even go after in this situation. He can do 80 damage currently. With Skyfield, he could do 100. So he could KO the ability lock Garb, which is okay, but he doesn't have... I guess he could go get a Trubbish then. Alright, so I actually don't hate that. Go KO the ability lock Garb, get a Trubbish into play as well. Alright, I kind of like this play from John. I assume this is what he's going to set up here. He's maybe thinking about KOing the Drampa, though. We'll see what he goes with. I definitely don't like him going KO Drampa here. Oh, there's the stand... Oh, that's right. He's got the stand-in Zoroark in hand. Yeah, I definitely want to see him kill the ability lock Garb, I think, here. And then bench a Trubbish of his own. He's going after the Drampa. I actually don't like this, because this is kind of putting him in a... It's putting him in a spot... Well, one, his hand was dead until he drew that dowsing machine. One, his hand was dead until he drew the dowsing machine off his prizes. So I definitely don't like that. Second, this allows him to just Blaine to kind of just freely Righteous Edge this Zoroark with, like, no potential of repercussions. So I think I would like to have seen John go Guzma, knock out the Garbodor. With the big Zoroark, with Zoroark GX, save the stand-in. Zoroark GX, knock out this. You have the Ultra Ball plus 2 eggs, get a Trubbish down. Oh, you only have 1 egg. But yeah, Ultra Ball for, put Skyfield in play, Ultra Ball for Trubbish, put Trubbish down, knock out the Garbodor, and then kind of go from there. But this play felt a little greedy from John's part. He left himself with a dead hand until he got this dowsing machine off the prizes. Maybe if he knew his prizes are, maybe if he knew all of his, like half of his prizes were outs to a supporter, then it kind of makes sense, a little bit more sense to go this way. But I still think going and chasing the Garb is the better play here from John, and then looking to set up your own Garb, give yourself control over shutting off that Sudowoodo. Yeah, we do see the teammates here from Blaine. He's eyeing up Rainbow Energy and Stretcher, so he wants that Drampa back. You definitely want that Drampa back, yeah. So he's looking to get that Drampa back. Looking at the Rainbow Energy, I'm not sure where he's gonna attach that. You can actually attach that to the Sudowoodo, and you can make so the Sudowoodo can actually like two-shot a Zoroark, which is kind of funny. Stretcher immediately for the Drampa. So I actually don't like him putting this on the bench though, because this means if John has Choice Band and DCE, he actually knocks out a Drampa. So I don't like him benching it right now. I don't hate teammating. Actually, I don't even think teammating here is that good. I don't know what the rest of his hand was, though. He had a Via Seeker, but you don't want to end John after that kind of awkward turn where you know John could still be dead drawing for sure. But then he chose the Via Seeker for Guzma. Oh, man. I definitely don't like benching this Drampa, because this means if John has DCE Choice Band, he knocks out the Drampa, and then he's 2 prizes away from winning the game at a point where he has, like, no items in his discard pile. So, yeah, not a big fan of this play from Blaine. I don't hate using the teammates to get the Stretcher and the Rainbow. I think that's okay. But him benching it really makes no sense when you're giving John an opportunity for no reason to knock out your active. Looks like John's eyeing up the dowsing machine here. Looking at getting rid of Trashalanche, and I don't like getting rid of Trashalanche here. Definitely has to be for a Chorus. Not a big fan of getting rid of Trashalanche here. He's gonna put the Skyfield in play once again. I don't like this Skyfield placement. It doesn't really do anything here on John's turn, like at all. It's going to be really hard for him to ever fill his bench, get a Zoroark GX in his active, and then knock out this. Just Chorus for 8. I think that's more than enough. Now he's definitely going to be debating benching this Shaman. to draw the extra card. I really do not like the Skyfield placement at all. You're not utilizing it at all. You're actually really close to just running out of Skyfields, I think. I think you have one more on John's side. And then once that's down, or if you just can't find the last one, you know, Dowsing Machine's down as well. If you get Perilous City, you can't even one-shot a Trash Lunch with your ZoroGGXs. That hand looks rough there from John. Yeah, nothing really going on at all in that hand. So once again, Skyfield kind of just wasted. He's eyeing the Super Rod. I wouldn't Super Rod here when your hand is this bad. You definitely need a top deck something, so you don't want to put a bunch of stuff back in your deck that just doesn't, that is not a good top deck. Oh, he might have a VS Seeker. Looking at the Ultra Ball, I definitely don't like Ultra Balling Delinquent here either. You're actually starting to run out of just supporters in general. You definitely want to try and utilize that Delinquent on a turn to probably bump a Parallel City. I don't even understand why he Ultra Balled here at all. Looking at a Trubbish, I don't think there was really a reason to Ultra Ball here this aggressively at all. I definitely would not have gotten rid of Delinquent. Sure, you get access to it through VS Seeker, but you only have, I think, like 2 or 3 VS Seekers left. One of them probably has to be a draw supporter for a draw supporter on the next turn. Definitely would have Ultra Balled away the Zoroark, I think, for sure on John's side. Keep the Delinquent in hand. So you do get access to it through VS Seeker, which is nice, but when you have so few supporters left in total anyways, the chance of you being able to, like, use a VS Seeker for a Delinquent, unless when it's putting them to 0, is very low. So if you just want to use it to bump a Stadium, it's going to be really awkward to do that, or something like that. We see Blaine thinking about attaching another DC to his active. It's fine to me. Just may as well knock out the Zoroark. John is getting a little bit low on Pokemon. He has been Ultra Balling them away pretty aggressively, so getting rid of another Pokemon in play is pretty good when it's not an egg. If it's getting rid of an egg, it's not as big of a deal, but... There is a computer search from Blaine. He really wants a Trubbish. Trubbish is coming down. Getting rid of the stand-in Zoroark, so it's not as big of a deal. And then there's the Parallel City. He gets rid of the Lele, but I'm sure Blaine does not care about that at all. Choice Band to the active Drampa. That's fine, I guess. Well, immediately with the Skyfield here from John. Super Rod. Should see Zorua. Definitely want to put stand-in back in the deck. 100% want to put stand-in back in the deck. Blaine's at 5 bench Pokemon. Really want to see John put... he's not going to put it. I don't know why he's not putting stand-in back in the deck. Stand-in is so good here. Yeah, I have no idea why John is not putting stand-in Zoroark back in his deck. The chance of him getting a one-shot here is super low. I mean, I guess he's playing... You definitely don't need to put the not the Shaman, but the third Pokemon he took. I forget what the third Pokemon he took here is. You definitely don't need the third Pokemon, though. You could have just gone with the stand-in Zoroark. Shaman and the Zorua. So no Field Blower. I'm sure that's what John was looking for. John was looking for like Field Blower, bench a bunch of Pokemon, Shaman setup, find DCE, knockout. There's a Battle Compressor. I don't see... there's one Field Blower in the deck. Okay, so only one Field Blower left in the deck. He plays the Battle Compressor. I think there was probably no reason to play the Battle Compressor. It's just one more item in your discard pile now. Getting rid of ZoroGGX, I guess, is okay. VS Seeker in hand, no energy in hand. He's just going to evolve to the Garb. That's fine. I would bench the Ditto here if I was John. Keep the Oricorio. Don't want to commit too many Pokemon to the bench. I would be fine with I'm fine with him benching the Ditto here, though, because he can potentially evolve it on the next turn. And then there's the pass to Blaine. End from Blaine to 4. And we're going to start seeing the Berserk for 110, two-shotting the Zoroarks. Yeah, I actually don't think John plays Special Charge. I'm not sure, though. There's 110 on the Zoroark. Back over to John. There's the Field Blower finally. Get rid of Flowstone. Choice Band. I would expect we see a knockout here on the active Drampa for sure, putting John down to 2 prizes. Yeah, definitely expect to see a knockout here on the active Drampa. I think he's debating the second prop trade. There it is. Looks like he probably has the knockout ready to go. He needs to put the... yeah. He should have it here. He's got DCE, Floatstone. You definitely want to attack with the other Zoroark, I think. So it's going to be like Floatstone, active, Choice Band to the bench Garb, prop. Oh, you might not have enough Pokemon, actually. And there's 1 prop or 2 prop. It might only have 1 prop propagation. Choice Band active. The problem with attacking with the active Zoroark, though, is it's just going to get knocked out. I don't know how many Pokemon John has left in deck, so he might not be able to pull it off with getting Pokemon out of the deck. Oh, he's 2 Choice Bands in hand. Is that another Choice Band? Yeah, I think he has 2 Choice Bands in hand, so he definitely should have gone Floatstone active, Choice Band Garb, well, propagate the egg, Choice Band Garb, Choice Band here, DCE, VS Seeker N if he has access to it, actually, maybe. Nah, it's 5 for 5. VS Seeker Colress, probably. we'll see what he ends up doing. Yeah, he does have 2 choice bands in hand, so he could have done it. He could have put floats on active, choice band here after propping. Instead, he's going a little bit more awkwardly, a little bit unnecessarily awkwardly. Now he's gonna, because he's gonna be attacking with this Zoroark, which is just gonna get knocked out by Blaine. Because like having the float on the Garb isn't that big of a deal, so you may as well send up just like a Zoroark with more HP. There's no reason to make it easier for Blaine to win the game. He has a Via Seeker for Colress. He doesn't have to play it this turn though, and I actually don't think he should because he's running so low on support. Well, you get a lot of cards this turn though, except for the next turn. Yeah, I like the Colress actually. Well, you know you're gonna get end probably though. Yeah, actually no. Hold off on the Colress. You know you're gonna get end, most likely. We don't see an end in Blaine's hand, but I think he could probably treasure for a Lele for one, and I'm sure that's what he's gonna go for. Super odd. He's gonna put a Lele back in Drampa. Probably Psychic Energy. Yep. So yeah, on what is it? John's side, I definitely think he should have gone Floatstone active, choice band here, EDC here, retreat, knock out with the other Zoroark, because this Zoroark has a good chance of just getting knocked out, and there's no reason to give Blaine more prizes. I don't know if he knows. I don't know if he knows Blaine has Oricorio. But that definitely could become a threat here soon to like knock out Egg plus Ditto or something like that. I think Blaine is actually probably counting Pokemon right now. Yep, grabs Oricorio, so we're probably going to see the knockout on the Zoroark and then knockout on the Egg for 3 prizes for Blaine. So yeah, I assume that's what we'll see here. He might just go just knockout Zoroark. That would also be fine. I don't actually know how many Pokemon are in the discard pile. He got the Parallel City. We'll see if he goes and throws that down. I definitely think the Trubbish should come down. He's going to throw down the Wobbuffet as well. And then it looks like probably Parallel City. Bump the Stadium. He's going to get rid of his Drampa and his Lele, making it impossible for John to win on the next turn of game. There goes the Parallel City. He's going to get rid of Egg, Ditto. There's a lot of Pokemon in the discard pile, and it's going to go up even more. It's going to go up by +4. I mean, the Oricorio is going to do quite a bit of work. It's not going to... I don't think it's going to be able to draw 2 prizes here, but it might, actually. We'll see. He has to choose between a 60 HP Pokemon or a 70 HP Pokemon, but I have no idea how many Pokemon are actually in John's discard pile, so I don't know if Blaine can knock out the active Zoroark and the Trubbish. That's like definitely what... Oh, yeah. There's 10 in there. Yeah, so we're going to see 3 active, 6 on the Trubbish. And I don't even know if John is going to be able to KO this Oricorio. I think he actually might just run out of Pokemon here. And this is what I said, like, Pokemon are a huge resource in this matchup. And then 10 on the Zoroark. 3 prizes for Blaine. Blaine going down to 2 prizes. John almost completely out of resources here. 1 DCE left, I believe. Almost no Pokemon left. He is struggling. I think he does have another Super Rod left, but I don't know if that's going to be enough for him to be able to pull it out. How many items are in there? Not a whole ton. I don't think enough to KO the Zoroark with Trash Avalanche. Maybe with a Choice Band. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how many are in there. John is eyeing up the Ultra Ball, but he is getting rid of another basic Pokemon here. Wants to keep the Psychic Energy. I can understand that. He might go into a Rangaroo here. He got rid of 2 more Pokemon, though. That seems a little iffy to me. It looks like he's eyeing up a Rangaroo plus Psychic Energy, and I think that's what he's going for. The rest of his hand is dead, so this play does make sense. I maybe would have Ultra Balled away the Choice Band and kept 1 more Pokemon out of the discard pile, but I actually don't know the counts of trainers or items or Pokemon, so it's really hard for me to tell what I think is correct. And then he's going to go for a Colress for 7, and then Resource Management and get some cards back in the deck. Probably mostly looking at putting items back in the deck so he doesn't just lose to a Trash Avalanche on the next turn. But I think Blaine will probably end up walking away with this game eventually, just based on how many Pokemon are in John's discard pile. He could probably just end the game with Oricorio in a couple turns. Oh, there's a red card. That's actually a pretty big play there from John. That could actually completely shut Blaine out of doing very much at all next turn. I don't know. Once again, it depends how many Pokemon are in the discard pile. I think John definitely wants to try and find his Super Rod there so we could throw some Pokemon back in to the deck. Yeah, there's a lot. If there's at least 10... I mean, if there's 13 Pokemon in the discard pile, then you can't stop the Oricorio from at least taking a prize on the Garb and then putting Blaine going down to 1 prize. So I think John is actually in a pretty rough spot here. We do see a Psychic, Choice Band, and Juniper in Blaine's hand off of the N. Well, it's an N to 2, so that's actually impossible. Oh no, it was a red card, not an Enter 2. Looks like I end up DCE, Field Blower, DCE, DCE. I think John has to do something about this Oricorio drawing prizes. I don't think he can really look for the Zoroark knockout here. I think no matter what, John just can't win. I think the Oricorio into Trash Lance will just kind of close out the game eventually. Counting items here from Blaine. 10, 11. Oh, he has exactly Garbodor, Guzma, Psychic, and Choice Band. And he's going to knock out that Garbodor and take game 2. They only have 9 minutes left, so I definitely foresee this one going to a tie. I don't think either of them are going to have enough time to actually close this out. If anyone does, it's probably going to be John. Usually, when a faster game is won in this matchup, it's from the ZoroGarb side. As there's just not enough time for the DrampaGarb player to either rack up the items into the Zoroark discard pile or run them out of like DCE's resources in general. So I definitely see, if there is going to be a winner here, I definitely see it being John. Although if I had to predict it, I would predict a tie. The Wob start here. Wob delinquent pass here from John though. Uh-oh. And then looks like a big wheel from Blaine as the follow-up. So neither of them starting off particularly well, but John definitely has a worse hand than Blaine. Definitely could see Blaine just start swinging with Berserk on the following turn. John debating benching the Egg. There's definitely no reason for him to bench Egg yet. There's no way for the Drampa to take a knockoff. There's the DCE top deck here from Blaine. Trubbish, Sudowoodo. And we'll probably just see a Berserk 80. There's a Bridget top deck from John. So yeah, a tie I think is what we're going to see here with the Bridget top deck. 3 games in a row. 3 raw Bridges from John. All right. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be enough time with that slow of a start from John to be able to steamroll over Blaine. So we should see this going to a tie. We'll watch out the last couple turns, though, and see if there's anything any different. We got Garb, Floatstone, Egg, Colress in hand, so it's just going to be a pass over to Blaine. Blaine definitely wants to find Ability Lock Garb here and set up ability. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Why wouldn't you do... What the heck? Alright, see, it's so hard for me to, like, check through this. Almost positive I saw a Floatstone in Blaine's hand. That definitely should have come down on a Trubbish here to potentially Ability Lock John out of the game. So he goes with the Bridget. I think I saw him top deck a Floatstone. I might have been wrong. We're rewatching it though. Boom, there's Zorua Trubbish from John. And then the cut from Blaine. And no, he top decked VS Seeker. Okay, it was just VS Seeker. I thought one of them was a Floatstone. I was like, what? Why wouldn't he put down the Floatstone? No. Thankfully not. Just another VS Seeker. Off the top, VS Seeker for N for 6. Definitely, Blaine definitely wants to see Ability Lock Garb and a tool here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oof. Unfortunate draw there from Blaine. Nothing at all, actually. It's just kind of bad. I think he has a VS Seeker for supporter, and he's going to get the knockout on the Wob to get a prize. There's a Floatstone. Over to John. John actually looks like he has a pretty decent hand. We could definitely see John take the knockout here on the Drampa. Egg. Yeah, John could definitely take the knockout here pretty easily, actually, I think. So I'd like to see him get rid of Egg. I don't think it matters past that. Just get rid of something. Get rid of the Guzma. Definitely want to see him being playing faster if he wants a chance to win this game, though. Egg. Just get rid of the Guzma. What are you doing? There you go. Guzma down. All right, and now we should see Ultra Ball, Egg, or Prop, Ultra Ball, get Zoroark, and we should see Dowsing, Prop, Dowsing Machine, Prop, Ultra Ball for Shaman, I think is what I want to see. Should see Choice Band DC hit the active. No reason for them not to. Double Prop. Oh, he needs a Skyfield. Okay, yeah, Skyfield's better than for the Shaman, like I said. Could put the Choice Band on the Trubbish, but I think it's better on the active here. I would prop once. Oh, I would get a Shaman here though. I would go prop communication Shaman setup for what was it, 5? Yeah. Definitely just want to be super aggressive here as John. Try and take as many knockouts as possible. He's going for a Lele. I have no idea why. For a Juniper, I guess is okay. It's a little bit better than Colress, but I definitely think that Shaman's the better way to go when you should know that you have like no time left. and you need to be super aggressive if you want any chance of winning this game. So I definitely don't like the Lele grab over the Shaman grab. That seems a little weird to me, because you could always chorus for at least 7 here as John, because you can go Shaman setup, prop egg, bench egg, chorus for 7. We see the cards here from John are not great. I don't think John is going to be knocking out this Drampa. There's the prop trade. Red card Ditto. Ditto should come down. There he is. It definitely would have liked to have seen John be a little bit more aggressive and use that Shaman there. That was a little weird to me. Ends up hitting the Drampa for what, 130. There we go. There's the Flow Stones of Trubbish that we were looking for. We could just see an Ace of Rolla here from Blaine, him just play it slow. I actually don't hate that. I think that actually kind of works out fine. He is eyeing up the chorus. He definitely wants to like try and find that ability lock Garb. But I actually wouldn't have hated the Ace of Rolla. Maybe it's not that great if you don't have like a Parallel City to go with it or something. So I'm a little indifferent on it. No ability lock Garb. Oh no, there's a treasure. We will finally see an ability lock Garb here for Blaine. It feels like he's been struggling to find Garbs in general throughout this whole series. Trubbishes and Garbs, mostly Garbs. We do finally see the ability lock Garb coming out here in game 3, and we should just see a Righteous Edge. Oh, he's gonna go for a Berserk. He's gonna hit hard. I guess that. Nah, I guess that makes sense. You just knock it out on the next turn, draw 2 prizes. Yeah, and when you have no time left, I guess that's the better way to go. Otherwise, I think you would maybe go for the Righteous Edge, force another DC on the active, try and find another Drampa, and then Righteous Edge again. Maybe either way, you go with the Berserk here and just knock it out, knock out the Zoroark. We see the red card there from John. Putting Blaine down to 4 cards, another item in the discard pile. I don't think it's going to matter though. Time is ticking out here. 5, 4, 2, 1, and that's time. So no way for either player to draw all of their prize cards. John being turn 0. So yeah, that's going to end up in a tie like I thought. So I think it was played a little sloppy from both players. One of the biggest plays for, I guess the biggest play for Blaine was when he benched that Wobbuffet and let himself get set up to be knocked out by stand-in Zoroark. He maybe just didn't, it maybe slipped his mind. He wasn't really thinking about it, but yeah, definitely a big mistake there by Blaine. And then John's side, I think there was definitely some sequencing errors throughout the whole series, but yeah, that's gonna do it for round 7. They end up in a tie here. Yeah, that's gonna do it for round 7. I'll be back with round 8 soon, guys. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to give it a like. If you are enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And check out all my social media links as well as my Twitch live stream link in the description below. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.